Good morning, everyone. It's glad to see every one of you here today. I hope you enjoyed the conference yesterday. I personally enjoyed it very much. I'm really impressed by the speakers and their presentations. I imagine you all have a few takeaways. I personally had a few. Listening to Gregor Hope, he talked about platforms, and he mentioned that platforms should be built in such a way that your developers can build something out of it that surprises you. I think that is an interesting takeaway for me, and we should similarly build platforms that way. And he used the analogy where when people wonder whether they should move to your platform and they should feel that they want to move to because they are sinking below the water. And when I heard that, I was thinking about how we need to build our shiphead platforms to that level where people feel that they might be sinking into the hole, hop onto our platforms and want to adopt our shiphead platforms. And then Sultan mentioned about his platforms and his app platforms and engineering platforms. To me, that was also very relevant to our government. That is what we need to do to having the app platforms and organize it in a way that people understand it. And similarly, we are developing our own engineering platforms as well. And that's where I think we reference each other, share ideas, and we can all benefit from this together. So I enjoyed the conference yesterday very much, and hopefully today we will have a similarly good conference. Now, yesterday our minister talked about digital economy, digital society, and digital government. For GovTech, our mission actually is to engineer a digital government and make lives better. And but we don't just engineer digital government for digital government's sake. It is important that the outcome of it actually is to make lives better. And we don't do this alone. We have our agencies, they are out there. There is similarly making lives better for your respective domains. And we want to work with them to achieve that. Similarly, we have our industry partners. They're out there working with us to build the digital products. And by together working with all of you as a digital ecosystem, I think we can uplift the digital ecosystem so that we all benefit, and together we can build products cheaper, better, and faster. And that's the purpose of our STAT conference, which is for all of us to come together to share ideas, share best practices, and innovate together. So we talk about making lives better. So what does that mean? You all would have experienced this, our ICA, our immigration. A few years ago, what you look like would be what you see on the left side, long queues. But I think many of you will have experienced what immigration is like now. Actually, pretty short queues, pretty seamless, and we managed to achieve that by using biometrics and the data-driven approach. And kudos to them, we have a 40% reduction in clearance time. And Changi Airport is named best in the world for immigration services. And you don't even need to bring a passport when you clear the immigration, right? You just have to use the face recognition. But do remember to bring a passport, otherwise you might not be able to enter the country at the destination. So, we make citizens' lives better in other ways. For the parents, you all have used the Parents Gateway, which is to bridge homes and schools. Before we had the Parent Gateway app, we had to sign consent form for trip physically. You have to schedule time for parent-teachers meeting, and you have to be concerned about what your kids program after school. With the Parent Gateway app, you can do all of this in one place, right? You can sign the consent form virtually, schedule for the parents-teachers meeting, and then you can be concerned, you know about what your kids are doing after school. Parents can get access to the children's school announcement and consent forms all in one app. Currently, it's serving 300 schools and 400,000 parents. So there's another way that we make lives better. So we don't just make lives of our citizens better, we make it easier for people to apply for businesses. Actually, doing business can be a very complicated thing. You need to apply for many licenses. For those who have not set up business before, if you were to say apply for a food and beverage license. It actually involves many licenses to apply for. You might need a food license, you might need a liquor license, and there are different kinds of liquor license to apply for depending on your operating hours. You might have to apply for a license for the property to do the business. And even if you want to do advertising and you want to put a signboard, you need to apply for a license. And of course, you need to apply for work permits and so on. And it can be extremely difficult, but we set up a goal-based application so that it makes things more convenient. Before that, you probably have to go to different websites to apply for all these licenses, fill in dozens of forms. At one point, we calculated that you probably need to fill in like 800 to 900 fields just to apply for all those licenses. But now, actually, with the GoBiz, it can be all done in one portal. And you can also tap on a wide range of government assistance schemes to support these businesses. And you also get a personalized dashboards with recommendations on the step-by-step guides. So we also try to make people who want to set up business in Singapore, their lives better. And lastly, we also try to make the lives of our employees better. This is AI bots. You know that government has a lot of documents, and it is sometimes very hard to go and refer to these documents because there are dozens and dozens of them. But AI bots make things much easier. By uploading all these documents to AI bots, actually you can just start to have a Q&A with your documents. And you can also summarize it if you want. And not only can you do that, you can just set it up and then share it with your colleagues. So with that, actually it makes the reading of government documents much easier and more efficient. So currently, we already have 13,000 users and 4,000 bots. And if you all have not tried it, you all should go and try it. So we have other applications that makes life easier. Of course, there's things like Parking SG, which a lot of people appreciate. We have grants, platforms, and so on. And we continue to build more of these products to make life easier for everyone. So at this point in time, 99% of our government transactions can be completed end-to-end. And 80% of our cloud-eligible digital apps have been moved to the cloud. And 80% of our citizens are actually satisfied with government digital services. In the international arena, we actually rank very highly, and we typically rank within the top 10 for any of these rankings in ICT. So while we are proud of our achievements, we know that we cannot rest on our laurels. We will continue to need new services, and if these are not digitalized, of course, that 99% will then start to drop. And not all 80% of the systems that have been moved to the cloud are cloud native. We want to convert more of them to be cloud native and be able to redevelop them so that they use cloud native services. And we know that our citizens have high expectations, and it will continue to rise from year to year. If we just stay stagnant, we are sure that the satisfaction will simply drop below 80%. So we want to stay ahead, and staying ahead requires strong foundations and continuous innovations. And having strong foundations means that we must have the robust infrastructure, resilient systems, digital platforms that can be upon, and we have the commitment to the digital excellence. But foundations alone, I think, are not enough. We need continuous innovations. We must have ways to continue to increase our productivity, adapt to the latest technology, and embrace a culture of experimentation and improvements. So in order to do that, GovTech will continue to build central platforms that drive engineering productivity. We already are building central platform products in order to enable people to leverage on. You might be familiar with some of these products. We have Form that allow us to create forms easily. We have Postman that allow people to send messages to our citizens easily. SingPass is our favorite product. We all use it for authentication. If you read about things in the social media on SingPass, don't believe them. SingPass continues to be reliable and secure. And we have other platform products too, like Transcribe. It is a speech-to-text, but it is made to understand the localized context. So if you use it and you say words like Tampines or Clementi, it will interpret it better than other commercial speech-to-text products because it's being trained by our local speech. And of course, beyond the platform products, we want to develop better DevX platform. You all might be familiar with some of these. We have the sheep heads, our Cloudscape, and the StackOps. We'll talk more about that later. So for this tech conference, we are focusing on how we can continue to improve engineering productivity, not just for GovTech, but for the whole of government, so that we can all build better products and make lives better. And to do this, we think there are 3 core concepts. Firstly, we really want to improve our developers' productivity. They are the ones that are building the app. If we can improve their productivity, we will build apps faster. I'm sure many of you out there will agree with me. Secondly, having more and strengthening our platforms so that individual developers do not have to build something that somebody else has built before. And thirdly, we want to build an ecosystem that encourages everyone to ideate, innovate, share, collaborate, so that we can continue to uplift each other and raise our proficiency levels. So firstly, developers, they are the ones who build the products. We want to equip them with the right tools, practices, and support so that they can focus and tackle complex problems. So to empower our developers and help them work more effectively, we have implemented a range of initiatives. We have the Open by Default initiative. Before this, when you onboard to Sheetheads, you can only get access to your own projects. We are going to open it up such that for everybody who on top of Sheetheads are able to get access to everyone's projects, provided it's not a project that is rated confidential or secret. Which means it becomes like a GitHub for Singapore developers. Everybody will share their modules, and if there's something that has been developed by another developer, you can use it so that and don't have to redevelop that module. We're going to implement code assist for developers in Sheetheads. You have heard what Sao Xiong mentioned yesterday. It will potentially improve our developers' productivity by 24%, and so we will enable that with code assist. And finally, we are going to improve our Singapore Government Development Portal so that developers can update their content much more faster. This will allow our developers to have quicker access to the tools. Next, we think that building central platforms will be very key to improving our productivity. It basically just means that we build once and it will be used by many. There are more than 100 government agencies and more than 2,000 systems across the whole of government. If we can identify central components that are used across these agencies and build them as a central platform, imagine the amount of savings that we can achieve. So here are some examples of our core engineering platforms. You might be familiar with some of them. We have our government tech stack and enhanced CICD platform. By going on to the SGTS, you can adopt cutting-edge tools and technologies. You get access to actually secure tools. You get access to Codescape and Cloudscape. We make checks on your code, and you'll be able to have secure code by default. And to make it even open, just now I talked about sharing the code among agencies. We're going to allow vendors to hop onto Sheetheads too, so that we can have the whole community of vendors, agencies, and GovTech developers all coming into this community and be able to share codes. And we're going to implement more comprehensive metrics and integrate AI capabilities into the platform. We talked about our government on commercial cloud. More than 80% of our eligible system has migrated to the cloud. We will continue to modernize the infrastructure, and we hope that we will be able to redevelop some of the apps that are not using native services. And then we want to encourage people to adopt the StackOps. It is a very big enabler for resiliency. Many of you who have experienced some disruption in the few weeks to some apps that have been built. We can think of like CrowdStrike, can think of maybe Mobile Guardian. By having very good monitoring, I think we will be able to detect these disruptions faster, and we will be able to recover faster as well. Right. Finally, we want to build a vibrant developer ecosystems. We want to build a community where ideas are shared, collaboration is encouraged, and innovation flourishes. Fostering this ecosystem creates an environment where developers can connect, learn from one another, and contribute to collective advancement in public sector technology. Again, I talk about the Open by Default initiative, where we want to bring all the developers together into one community. We want to encourage experimentation amongst our community. It might be challenging for some agencies to host their own hackathons. So we want to help everyone funnel their ideas, identify problems, and develop prototype to solve these problems. So we organize hackathons like Launch that involve the agencies, and we bring engineers, both from the industry and from GovTech together, so that they can ideate and develop the prototypes. So by creating these kind of platforms, we bring the technology, operational, and policy people together to build solutions. And we want to continue to promote collaboration in the community, so that the developers did not do this alone. This should not be the only Stack event that you attend. We actually have smaller Stack events throughout the year. We have the Stack X and the Stack Meetups as well. And I think developers should always come together to have pizzas. Well, and in these meetups, we can dive into emerging technologies and shape ideas across government and industry. And through these initiatives, we hope to create the space for collaboration, to innovate, share knowledge, and build impactful solutions for public good. So these are some of the gatherings that we had in the past years. We had recently concluded the Hackomania. We had Stack Meetups with AISP, where we talk about Zero Trust. We had Stack Meetups with TikTok. We had the Launch Hackathon, where we collaborated with AWS, Databricks, and Microsoft to do a hackathon. And we also have collaborations with Google on AI Trailblazers and the AI Bootcamp, where again, we bring engineers together and make use of the AI facilities that are provided by Google to run some of these hackathons. So, we have made good progress on our digitalization journey. We have provided good digital services for majority of our government transactions, and there's high uptake and there's good satisfaction rates. We hope to continue to collaborate and share best practices, co-create solutions, and work together to build tech for public good. I hope that we continue to leverage and contribute to GovTech's platforms, which is meant to be shared for the whole of government. By utilizing reusable components and shared tools, we enhance efficiency and enable faster scaling of solutions, allowing us to bring impactful, citizen-centric innovations to life more effectively. So, thank you for your attention and for joining us today. Your engagement and collaboration are what make events like this meaningful as we come together to share ideas and shape the future of digital government. We have an exciting program lined up for the rest of the day with sessions designed to inspire, challenge, and connect us all. I hope you play some of the games out there, attend the lightning talks. They are all pretty interesting and gain more points so that you can enchase for your Stack devices. So make the best of Stack Conference 2024. Thank you.